Good morning, Nigeria and the rest of the world. Thank you for joining us on the Tuesday edition of TVC Breakfast. I'm Veronica Dan Ikboy.
And now from headlines to everything trending on social media. On that note, welcome to our show. Good morning, Nigeria. I am Ria Abdul. Let's have a fantastic show.
Absolutely. It's a brand new day and we're here to give you everything that you need to know. I'm Ibrahim Shita. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, I was expecting that high. Good morning, Nigeria.
Oh, I told her. Of course.
Oh boy.
Good to have you back. You good?
Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah. You're good now, right?
Good.
Great. Like we rightly pointed out, we have an array of issues we'll be looking at today. Of course, we're still looking at what is happening in Mokwa, Niger State, and then we're definitely going to look at, go to Abuja to look at stories that are also on the papers as well, and then we'll talk about stories that are trending now much later on the show. But let's begin with this sad story where the death toll from the Mokwa flood climbs and the search for over 100 missing persons continues. Stench of decomposing bodies buried under rubble now permeates the air in the community, fueling fears of a possible disease outbreak, even as survivors wait desperately for relief that is yet to come. Our correspondent, Chenemi Bami, who has been monitoring the situation, reports.
The death toll from the Mokwa flood continues to rise, with over 100 persons still missing. The air is now filled with a stench believed to be from decomposing bodies buried beneath the rubble. This is a sharp reflection of the scale of tragedy. Here, rescue teams are battling to repair this damaged bridge, one of the many pieces of infrastructure still hanging on after being hit by the force of flood waters. In the early hours of Monday, survivors gathered once again, hoping to receive updates, expecting that more bodies might be recovered. Among them is Abdurazak Yakubu, the only surviving member of his family. 9 relatives swept away by the flood. So far, only one body has been found. "I am truly depressed with what happened," he said. "I just have to take it, knowing that your relations, younger sister and brothers were drowned, leaving you alone. You know you can't be happy." I returned to the home of the Sadkin Hausawa, Tankobala, who has been coordinating local rescue efforts, to find out whether any relief materials have arrived.
Lema tried, because Lema came to we and they showed me 200 pieces of bag of rice, 25 kg, and mantras. They brought mantras, actually. I saw mantras with my eyes, but they refused to give them because they say nobody in the camp. Nobody in the camp, share with people and then bring it to them here.
So what happens is that when we attempt to do that distribution in the initial stage, everybody was coming in and we are going to miss the target. So the committee was put in place, comprising of security organization, NGOs here, NEMA, SEMA, IOM, Red Cross, and other response agency, to do detailed assessment and really find out, actually identify the real people, of which they have done.
Meanwhile, the First Lady of Niger State, Fatima Bago, visited the area to commiserate with the people and also gave a cash donation.
It's really not a sight to behold. But there's nothing we can say. It has already happened. We only advise them to be cautious henceforth, going forward, to avoid building on waterways, because these are some of the things that causes this kind of havoc to happen in this magnitude.
At the scene, health concerns are growing, with decomposing bodies still buried under debris and no sanitation measures in place. Survivors fear an outbreak of disease.
People hear this smelling, maybe another sickness, you will catch people.
So we are going to work closely with all the relevant agencies to ensure that there is a clean mop-up. In this phase, we are doing like sort of search and rescue and then responding to emergency need. But of course, cleaning efforts are very much underway.
There's a huge stench building up in this place. Evacuation effort must be doubled to ensure that there's no outbreak of disease around here. The people say that they can't do that on their own. They await emergency agencies to bring in heavy payloaders or excavators to dig up this place and ensure that environment is fumigated and safe for them. Chenemibami, TVC News, Mokwa.
Such a grim picture there, especially with the conversations around the stench already building as a result of the number of dead bodies buried under the different rubble of destruction witnessed there. And then the fact that that particular boy said he lost all members of his family. Only him is a survivor as we speak. And then we're looking at people still waiting for relief materials. It's such a compounding tragedy like that we have in Mokwa. If you had to paint the picture, there's the emotional aspect. There's also the physical aspect of needing a place to stay and where to lay your head at the end of the day. You see people scrambling to pick up what is left of that the flood left for them to live with at the end of the day. It's sad that this is what we are facing right now. And they are just even asking the question, how many Mokwas are we going to have in the country before we take the needed step? Etoma.
That has been the same rhetorics almost in every sector of the Nigerian existence. We wait for things to happen first and then we react. We do not plan ahead. And I was discussing this with a friend of mine yesterday, really expressing my frustration that this is the reality that we face. And he says, if you look at every department of government, they are not as funded as they should be. So to take proactive stance about a lot of things is almost impossible. But that notwithstanding, NIMED gave ample warning about this. You know, they had warnings. And then the governor of Niger State 7 months ago had a $10 million funding. Funding for that. And he said contractors had been identified that will take care of work, you know, to avoid things like this. So you want to wonder what's going on. My heart goes out for that young man that lost every member of his family. I just imagine how he's feeling right now. Some
families were totally wiped out. I read a story where a school was said to have, in fact, lost all of the students, about 40 of them. So many things have happened, Ria, but we saw that the wife of the governor visited the scene yesterday, made donations. Perhaps that will lift the spirit of the people.
I just want to pick up from where Thomas stopped, talking about accountability. I think it's time we need to start holding people for accountability, because if those monies were given and we're still facing this kind of, this kind of destruction. I watched the videos on TVC News yesterday and I was almost crying on my bed. It's not just one person that lost his family. A lot of people, their families are wiped out. I saw this particular woman. There's this particular woman I watched. You need to see tears in her eyes. Now, tell you what, even those ones that have survived, they need therapy. It's not just about money. And sometimes we monetize things. Of course, they need money, they need relief items, but these people need even therapy. Imagine waking up, all your property is gone, your family is gone. It's a sad one. Now, my question is, how can we avoid this? Because we're getting into the raining season. We're getting into a phase where we're going to see a lot of rains. How many more of things like this are we going to see? When are we going to take a step and not wait for it to happen before we now start gathering around and trying to help them? When are we going to make sure that these things stop?
That's a big question, and Ibrahim, this has been happening even in April, the month of April, according to reports. Something similar happened where about 16 people were said to have died and 6,000 displaced in the same Niger State. And then we now have this a compounding issue. Where do we begin? From your perspective, is this a matter of preparedness being the challenge? Are we not taking these matters seriously? Or what really is the issue? It had happened before, and not just this year. It had been happening.
Yeah, it's actually everything that you said. The lackluster deliverables from the government, because there are so many things that they need to do that they are not doing. Fine, meteorological. We had what's it called? Yes, NIMED. Releasing the information that we need to be careful. Some people need to evacuate and all of that. Whether they acceded to it or not, it's one thing. But what is the government doing, you know, in ensuring that, because yesterday we had this conversation and our guest said that one thing that he heard was that some people, maybe they brought in relief materials, they took pictures
Nema,
allegedly. So and they made away with it. So this is just a form of inhumanity to man.
Yeah, from what the official said, he said that they were looking to ensure that it is the right people that were getting those materials.
And you know, there is a whole lot of, you know, we have conflicting figures. AP said 300 people died. We have 153. Now I saw on NT about 190. So different figure, but the thing is that a lot of people died. And there's one thing. We feel that we are not getting enough information, and that's why tomorrow at 12 p.m. across our platform, on the digital platform rather, the TVC News, I'll be having a no holds barred session with Chineme Bameyi, because some things that they can't say, you know, on a conventional TV. We hope that he'll be able to do that in the space of the hours that we have in the
I hope
that'll be right, because
teaches us a lesson.
There's so much that since 2012 we've been having this issue. So lessons should have been learned.
But this is now a bigger magnitude. I feel that action needs to be taken, and accountability. If the money was really given to him, it's high time for him to be accountable. What were done with those monies?
Our time is up. Unfortunately, our heart still goes out to the people of Niger State, particularly those in Mokwa. But let's quickly take this breather. When we return, it will be time for the newspaper review. Stay with us.